this issue, we've been doing this now almost 20 years, and this issue of proprietary versus open source has always been there, and it's kind of ebbed and flowed. And I felt early on, I remember when we got started in this, there was a lot of this stuff going on. There was a lot of proprietary hosting, proprietary websites, proprietary
Yep.
CMS, proprietary, and there's also this like hybrid one where it's like it's technically the agency built it on WordPress, but you're licensing like their
Yep.
configuration of it.
Yep.
And again, we're not big on naming names here. We're not talking the offenders. We're just talking offenses. We all have our war stories of folks that are doing this kind of stuff. And then I felt like it got better for a while. For years, I thought, people were getting the message out that the lawyers are being taken advantage of on this proprietary
Agreed.
stuff. And honestly, with this consolidation stuff, I'm starting to see it come back. It's like
Yep.
rearing its head because, the people, the money people, like they're like, yeah, to your point, we got to be sticky. And what's the best way to be sticky is to make it all proprietary, making switching very hard, switching costs very high.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we're coming back to that. And I think lawyers need to think about that when they're making these choices, both about agency partners, but also with technology stacks.
Yep.
And you're seeing some of these partnerships that are coming out, and you're like, I get why they're making the partnership, but is it really the best thing for the law firm? At least in this context, we talk about this all the time, but like, there's this advantage of data and bigger data and the impact of AI and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you don't own your stuff, there's a reason why all these platforms do this, right? It's better for them.
It's better for them. You're renting your marketing, and it works. It's great. But boy, your eggs are now in the basket of that agency versus you being the owner and having control of that. And that's what you and I have always talked about. That's a lot of trust to put into one outside vendor to own all your stuff.
The other thing that gets me in this context, and it doesn't necessarily just relate to the ownership thing, although the folks that are doing this proprietary stuff, they tend to fall in this bucket too, but it could also be that they don't actually own it. But it's this idea of data sharing and training, especially in this world of AI, where many of these companies are using your data to train technology that's competing with you. And so, if your agency's working with a bunch of your competitors and they're taking all your data, they own the data, worst case scenario. But let's just say they're not even owning it, but they're sharing it. And what they'll say is that they're anonymizing it. So don't worry, no one knows it's yours, no one knows it's your clients. But the point is that they're still using your marketing performance data to inform their systems